This week we're going to be introducing arrays and using libraries. So these are going to be examples of using a library. We are going to be using the processing language, which is going to be a library of calls that we're going to be using through JavaScript. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using web pages. They're just going to look a little different than we've been using in the past. They're just going to be stripped from all the stuff we've been using before. No more forms, no more input tags. We're just going to be using the script tag and the canvas tag. Everything in between is going to be functions from the processing library. Okay, the language. So here what you're going to see is we're telling it that we're going to be using a script. We're going to be using processing, and this is the name of the version that we're going to be using, and it's going to be text processing, and we're telling it that we're going to be using it from something that has an ID, my canvas. Okay, so that's going to be the place where this is going to be taking place. And if you look at the canvas here in the bottom, we have a canvas with an ID, my canvas, so this is where the processing calls are going to be shown or taking place. Now this is the language that we're going to be using, and you're going to be recognizing a lot of the stuff that we use in JavaScript when we're using Khan Academy. So we're going to have a setup function. Notice that we don't have the word function anymore, it just says void. It's just the syntax. And we're just setting the size of the canvas. Just remember, this is the size of the canvas, and then we're doing some stuff with the background and the fill, and this is going to look very similar to what we've done in Khan Academy. And then we're using the draw function to draw something. So this is in a page, in a web page, and in order to execute this, I'm going to run it. I'm going to launch it in Chrome. And what you're going to see is my page is going to be here. And because I am printing the word hello, you're going to see here, because I'm using the text and hello and I'm telling it where to place it, you're going to see it on the web page, but because I'm also printing it and sending it to the standard output, you're going to see it here in the bottom. So it's going to be kind of one example. Let me show you another example here. Here we have again, let's just move this a little bit, this another page with the same tags, the script, double scripts. This doesn't change. I still have my canvas, so you may want to just copy and paste that. And the only thing that changes here is the setup. What am I going to be doing on that page? So I am just setting colors and backgrounds and drawing an ellipse. This should look familiar some time ago. And then if I launch this in Chrome, notice that what this is going to do is it's going to draw an ellipse, and yes, I have the print line so that I can see what's happening down here. Let's show another example. You can do very interesting things here. Again, we just want to concentrate on the code that is here. And again, we're using the same kinds of calls you use initially in Khan Academy. This time, instead of calling everything a var, we have floats if we want to have numbers, or int if they don't have a decimal point. And again, our functions start with the word void, just to say they don't return anything. But we want to have the draw function if we want to draw, and the setup is just to tell it the size and whether we want to stroke or not stroke, and so on. So that we'll take a look at that. Let's take a look at this running. And here, as you can see, this function is going to draw a line. And it is because it's running over and again, and we're changing the position of y. You can see that we're drawing the line, and the y location of this line is changing, so it looks like it's just going up and up and up. And because the background is being redrawn, then it looks like it's moving up. So let's take a look at one more. Here we have the number 4. Here we have again the same HTML. And then we have a setup and the draw. So let's take a look what this is drawing. We can just run and launch it. And here what you're going to see is a ball that bounces. Okay, so you can see we have our x and y coordinates. We have the radius of the ball. And we set it up. We tell it we want a canvas of 200 by 200 width and height. We tell it how fast we want this the frames to change. So we're just using a 24, and then we're changing the x and the y, and we're selecting colors, and then when we draw, we're just changing the height of where we want the ball to be drawn. Okay, so you can see here's the ellipse, and we're just telling it where to draw. Let's take a look at one more here, moving the circle. Okay, here we have again more functions that are being called. So let's take a look at what this one does. Launching Chrome. And this is one that you're going to see an example of the links I sent you and how to make this work. So here there's a little bit more involved. There is some code here to draw. Remember, this is the draw loop that gets called over and over again. So you can see that it's drawing a background. And notice this ellipse that has been drawn. It follows the mouse. Okay, so we did some of this at the very beginning. So we know mouse move, we get the mouse values, and then we can just redraw the mouse, the ellipse at a different location. Okay, so just remember, here's NX from where the mouse is, and then I use NX here to place the ellipse in a different location.